Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're strapping in for one of the wildest rides of 2022. Ambulance, Michael Bay's explosive return to pure, unapologetic action filmmaking. Whether you're a fan of high-speed chases or just curious how Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II handle 136 minutes of pure adrenaline, this video will break down the plot, the characters, and the behind-the-scenes madness that makes this movie an unforgettable experience. We'll also explore the film's surprising themes, some incredible drone cinematography, and why that Los Angeles River sequence nearly broke the internet. Stick around to the end for my final verdict and rating, and don't forget to comment with your thoughts. Did Ambulance floor you, or did it run out of gas? Will Sharp is introduced in a moment of quiet desperation. A decorated war veteran, he's watching his wife Amy battle cancer, and the $231,000 experimental surgery that could save her life is completely out of reach. From the first scene, we get a sense of Will's personality. He's honorable, loyal, and completely out of options. Alongside him is his adoptive brother Danny, a charismatic career criminal who sees the world as one big opportunity. Danny doesn't just offer Will a loan, he offers him a score. The biggest bank heist in Los Angeles history, $32 million. The film quickly establishes stakes through its inciting incident. The heist goes spectacularly wrong when the Special Investigations section arrives, having tracked Danny's crew from the beginning. In the chaos, Will accidentally shoots Officer Zach, a young cop who wandered into the wrong place at the wrong time. With their crew dead and police surrounding the building, the brothers hijack an ambulance carrying EMT Cam Thompson, who's desperately trying to save Zach's life. This setup gives us a glimpse of the film's relentless tone. Once that ambulance hits the street, it never stops moving. By the end of this introduction, we already understand the impossible situation. Two brothers, one dying cop, a hostage paramedic, and the entire LAPD in pursuit. The relationships in Ambulance are the fuel that keeps this high-octane thriller running. Will's interactions with Danny reveal a complex brotherhood built on love, loyalty, and fundamentally different moral compasses. Will is the reluctant soldier, driven by desperation to save his wife. Danny is the unrepentant thrill-seeker who genuinely believes he's helping his brother. A brief scene where Danny blasts Christopher Cross's sailing and sings along while Will stares in bewildered frustration captures their dynamic perfectly. One man treats the chaos like a party, the other is just trying to survive it. Cam emerges as the film's unexpected anchor. She's introduced as the best paramedic in town who, honestly, has no friends, and her entire identity is built around competence and, well, emotional detachment. Her interactions with both brothers really evolve throughout the chase. She challenges Danny's volatility, earns Will's respect through her skill, and never, not once, plays the helpless victim. Supporting characters like Captain Monroe and FBI Agent Clark represent the law closing in, but it's that claustrophobic triangle inside the ambulance that truly drives the story. One really interesting aspect here is how Danny's genuine affection for Will constantly wars with his sociopathic tendencies, a conflict that'll shape every decision leading to the film's devastating climax. As the plot unfolds, Will and Danny face escalating challenges that, honestly, transform a simple chase into a symphony of chaos. The first key event is the discovery that they're not just running from police cars, they're running from helicopters, tactical teams, and, the full force of the LAPD's Special Investigations section. The filmmakers introduced drone technology in ways we've honestly never seen before, with cameras swooping through traffic, hugging skyscrapers, and just diving into the chase from impossible angles. This immediately raises the stakes, showing just how utterly trapped the brothers are. Then, the second key event really pushes everyone to their limits. Zach begins bleeding out, and Cam realizes she needs blood, fast. Will, who's a former combat medic, volunteers as a direct transfusion donor, creating this intimate, honestly bizarre connection between the man who shot Zach and the man trying to save him. This sequence puts both protagonist and supporting characters in some serious peril, forcing clever solutions and, some intense interactions. Cam performs surgery mid-chase, guided by specialists over FaceTime, using nothing but her training and sheer determination. The filmmakers use pacing masterfully, quick cuts during the helicopter assault, long takes that totally immerse us in Cam's surgical focus, and those dizzying drone shots that make you feel every single turn. The Los Angeles River sequence, shot in just 2.5 hours with Jake Gyllenhaal actually hanging from the ambulance door firing at helicopters, stands as, honestly, one of the most insane action scenes of the decade. Watching Will balance his duty to keep everyone alive with Danny's escalating madness is what really keeps us invested. The visual composition, with Bay's signature lens flares and low-angle hero shots, makes these pivotal scenes both exhausting and, yeah, absolutely exhilarating. Ambulance isn't just about cars flipping and helicopters chasing. It also explores, some surprisingly relevant themes beneath all that mayhem. One of the most prominent is the failure of systems meant to protect us. Will is a decorated veteran whose wife is dying because insurance just won't cover her surgery. The same country he served has abandoned him when he needs help most. This is reflected through every desperate choice Will makes. He doesn't want to be a criminal, but the system left him no alternatives. Another theme, working-class heroism, really emerges through Cam's character. She's not a doctor, not a superhero, just a paramedic who happens to be, honestly, extraordinarily good at her job. The film elevates her competence above the chaos, showing that regular people have value and power, regardless of their position or paycheck. In a genre dominated by billionaires and chosen ones, this actually matters. The cinematography and direction, well, they further enhance these ideas. Bay's signature style, the sweeping drone shots, the golden hour lighting, the American flags, feels slightly more self-aware here, more willing to show the cracks in the American dream. For instance, the contrast between the gleaming Los Angeles skyline and the gritty reality of the chase below highlights how the city's beauty masks its broken promises. These layers make the film more than just entertainment. They invite viewers to ask what they would do when the system fails them, and whether desperate times truly justify desperate measures. Michael Bay, of all people, delivers a surprisingly compassionate look at the cost of survival. Some fascinating details behind Ambulance make the experience even more incredible. The helicopter chase sequence in the Los Angeles River wasn't even in the script. Michael Bay, believe it or not, came up with it over a weekend after 2 helicopters became available. They shot the entire thing in 2.5 hours with legendary pilot Fred North, and instead of hiring stuntmen, Jake Gyllenhaal was actually hanging off the ambulance door shooting at the helicopters, while Yahya Abdul-Mateen II drove. Abdul-Mateen later told Bay it was the craziest shit I've ever done, and live-streamed it to his friend mid-shot. So, on the very first day of filming, Bay actually noticed several patrol officers and, get this, 3 motorcycle cops out on a freeway. He just asked if they wanted to star in the film, they agreed, and he managed to sweet-talk them into creating a rolling roadblock, closing the freeway for free instead of paying like $350,000 to $400,000. Oh, and the dog Nitro, who plays Captain Monroe's K9 partner. That's actually Michael Bay's real-life pet. And just in case you were wondering, the bank they rob is the exact same one from Heat, back in 1995. These little tidbits just give you a fuller appreciation of the work involved, and honestly, the sheer audacity of making this film. As the story reaches its devastating climax, Will faces the ultimate challenge. His brother Danny has completely unraveled. After Pappy's crew is killed and the brothers escape to the hideout, Danny finds out that Cam shot Will while trying to protect herself. Enraged and desperate, Danny grabs Cam as a human shield, threatening to kill her on live television unless the police back off. The key moment comes in a flash. Will, bleeding out in the ambulance, knows his brother better than anyone. He understands that Danny, in this state, could do anything. With his last bit of strength, Will raises a gun and shoots Danny right through the chest, killing his own brother to save an innocent woman. It's not triumphant. It's just tragic. Danny's final moments aren't filled with anger, but with sorrow, as he apologizes to Will before dying in his arms. The ending is, well, bittersweet, but kind of hopeful. Cam secretly gives some of the heist money to Amy for her surgery, and Officer Zach, when questioned, tells the police that Will actually saved his life. Will survives, he's arrested, but he's alive, and his family is protected by the very woman he helped save. The filmmakers wanted these final moments to leave a lasting impression, not as a victory, but as a meditation on just how far love can push a person and what it costs to choose what's right when every option feels wrong. In conclusion, Ambulance delivers exactly what a Michael Bay movie should: breathtaking action, genuinely funny moments, and surprisingly, a bit of emotional depth, all anchored by three phenomenal performances. Jake Gyllenhaal is just unhinged brilliance, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is the soul we desperately need, and Eiza González proves that working-class heroes really do deserve the spotlight. It's too long, absolutely ridiculous, and somehow, it just works anyway. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a comment with your thoughts. Did the ending destroy you, or were you just here for the explosions? And, yeah, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more movie reviews, deep dives, and behind-the-scenes insights. Thanks for watching, and maybe drive carefully.